Enough is enough.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Indie Wrestling Corner with another episode of Under the Ropes. I'm your host, as always, the queen of the Indies, and I'm so excited. I feel like I need to start dancing with you pretty much, but it's about time. I got my friend Aaron Rourke. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm so excited.
I am too.
I know it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I love it. I'm so glad that we can make this happen. Guys, if you're new to the Under Rope series, here I interview everything independent wrestling, whether it's wrestlers, promoters, referees, behind the scenes. I got you covered. If you guys got questions for Aaron, drop them in the chat. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. So, and also give us a share.
Bring it on.
Give us a share. Get some peeps in here. Let's get those questions. You never know, what's gonna come out of here. So we're gonna go back to basics. Obviously, that's what I like to do with all my podcasts. So we're learning a little bit about you. I know you, but there's some people that might not know your story. So I would love for you to tell us a little bit about how you got into professional wrestling, how you chose like Create a Pro, to train at. Give us a little bit of the tea.
Sure. So I think like most professional wrestlers, we've been watching it from a very young age. I've been watching it since I was 6, which was 2001. My first memory of wrestling was on an episode of SmackDown where Hulk Hogan, dressed as Mr. America, got hit by Vince McMahon with a steel chair. And I was like, oh, wow, like, what is going on here? And of course, I was never allowed to watch because my mom was like, you're a child. But I never listened to that rule. So I just grew up watching it and loving it. And I knew it was always something I wanted to do. I never could see myself doing an office job or like a typical 9 to 5. I just always wanted to be a wrestler. When it came time to make that decision, I chose to go to college first because, God forbid, anything happened where I couldn't wrestle. I wanted a degree to fall back on. So when I came home from college, I was looking up schools. And the Creative Pro at the time happened to be 7 minutes from my house. So I was like, we're going there. And the rest was history.
It's so crazy. Like, I've been over there. I've been like to the toy drives that they have over there. It's such a great place. I dated a guy that worked like right across the street from there too. It's so funny.
Nice.
Yeah, it was just crazy. And I've been to some of the Creative Pro shows. So again, if you guys haven't checked out Creative Pro, definitely check it out. What was it about like independent wrestling? Like, do you remember your first memory of like going to a show as a fan?
So this is crazy. I never knew about independence until I started wrestling. So
Wow.
as a kid, I thought all I knew was there was WWE,
Mm-hmm.
TNA at the time, and I heard about this thing called Ring of Honor. I don't know if you heard about it, but I was like, oh, that must be like a third kind of like promotion somewhere else. And it wasn't until I joined where I was like, oh, wow, there's a lot of promotions that do. There's independence.
Yeah.
I was mind blown, but I remember one of the first times I was at Creative Pro. This was right around when I signed up. They needed help at a show, so I went to help out, and I mean, I wasn't doing a good job because I was too busy watching, and I was just in like awe. I was like, I can just remember sitting there and watching. Chris Statlander was on the show, Bear Bronson was on the show, Caster was on the show, and I was just like, wow, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to be in there.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be main eventing. I want to be on the poster. And I was just in love with it from the moment I saw it.
Oh wow, that's funny. I think like a lot of wrestlers that come onto this podcast, they tell me that they didn't really know about the indie scene. I feel like I can vouch for that too for myself. Probably like the last 10 years is when I got like really deep into, well, the last couple of years, like I really, really deep. But even years ago, like, oh, this is independent wrestling, like interesting. There's other stuff. And then even like leaving out of New York, it's like, there's wrestling outside of New York.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. So
crazy.
It's great. Sky's in the chat. Sky's from UK. It's 2:00 in the morning and she's listening to this podcast. Like, girl.
You go, girl. Girl, you go.
I love it.
You.
I love it. And he's wearing the Limitless shirt, which I love. And I had said Limitless, I was just talking about this earlier with Love Doug, and I was saying how I was like, I need to get up to a Limitless show. It's been on my radar for a while. John Alba actually put me onto it a while ago. I think it was like last year, and I just love it, and it's my vibe. And I was like, this is so my vibe of promotion, and I want to take the drive, and I want to go up there. So it's in the plans. Hopefully, like in the spring, I'm gonna come up to Limitless.
Yes,
so
come on up.
I am. I'm sad. I'm pretty sure I had COVID for New Year's. It was just awful that I was so. No, I had the flu because I had COVID. I think the beginning of like December. That I'm pretty sure I had the flu. So it wasn't with me. I was so excited. I was like, okay, I'm finally gonna see Beyond. I'm finally gonna see Limitless. These were two promotions that I've been dying on my bucket list to physically go to. So I still need to make those happen. So we're gonna make that happen, but definitely within the next couple of months. So let me ask you this. So clearly, like, I've seen you in person a bunch of times. But for that fan that's never seen you wrestle before, what is the match of yours that you would recommend for them to watch?
See, that's always a tough question because there's matches that mean a lot to me on a personal, professional wrestling and friendship level, and there's matches that mean a lot to me being like, this is where you really see what I can and can do.
Right.
I don't say can't do because I can do everything. So I would say probably my match with Anthony Green from the previous, not this show, the last show. It was one of my hardest fought matches, and he pushed me to a limit that I had not reached in a while, and it just reignited the fire to be the best, because I truly believe I am the best, and it's everyone else's fault they haven't realized it yet. But that match to me is what I believe one of, if not my best match to date. And personally, my favorite match is from 2019. It's me versus Chris Statlander for the Creative Pro TV title.
Yeah. Ooh. So
she is a close friend of mine. I love her dearly. And it was my first match back from a very serious ankle injury. I was supposed to be out for upwards of a year, and I came back in 6 to 8 months. And it was my first big match back, and to share the ring with someone who I admire, look up to, and for someone who had helped me in the early parts of my career was very meaningful. And I always look back at that match and just smile at it.
Aw, I love that. I love that. Definitely. Sky, take your notes. Take your notes. I know you're writing things down. She's always looking for matches. So I love asking this particular, question, because like I said, it's always nice to see your guys' perspective. And I know you guys are a lot like harder on yourselves, like with matches. I see it all the time. And it's like, something that I think was really good, that it's like, no, it wasn't. I'm like, but I thought it was really good. But it's funny because it's like, Creative Pro, we keep talking about Creative Pro. So I got to come to one of the most, well, not the most recent one, but I was at the Halloween Housing, Halloween House show. So you and Phil teamed up against even Stevens, and man, this was a great match. Like, it was just so fun. So tell us a little bit about your experience. Like, this crowd is hot. Like, if nobody's been to a Creative Pro, go. Like, it's a hot crowd. So give us a little bit.
The Creative Pro fans
Yes.
are Creative Pro. They're so loyal and they're just the best. They are always behind their wrestlers. And it's a lot of the same faces, but they also bring in a lot of new faces. And there's like, I don't know, even when we're either in Lynbrook at the Knights of
Right.
Columbus, or even in just the warehouse that we train at, it always just feels so much bigger
Right.
because of the fans and the Creative Pro faithful.
Right.
Like, I can't put into words how great they are and how much I love them and respect them, because they make the magic happen. They're so vocal, they're so loud, they boo you, they cheer you, and they just really come to watch Creative Pro do what it does best: pump out talent, pump out stars, and put on goddamn burner matches and great shows.
Yeah, definitely fun. Sky, it's on IWTV. Definitely like check that out. Actually, the show that I'm talking about is actually on there. I was watching it the other day. I went back to go rewatch the show. So definitely fun. A lot of great matches. You'll know a lot of people over there as well. So so I want to talk about so look, first I have to shout out the podcaster Queen of Any, which is one of my dear friends. I love her to death. One of her biggest things is wrestling fashion. Okay. So I want to talk about you doing the face paint. Like, I want details. Like, I mean, I got to see you in person at Chaotic a couple of weeks ago. You had the purple going on. It was gorgeous. Like, give us a little bit, like, how long does this take for you to do? How do you come up with it? Give us a little bit.
So the face paint kind of just happened because it actually started from my match with Chris Statlander, because I was coming back and I wanted to present a different Aaron Rourke, because he was not the same as he was when he got hurt to when he came back. So I started doing just like the gold foil, and then it grew into the tears because it was an homage to one of my favorite wrestlers, Asuka, who was sporting the tears. And then it kind of just took on a life of its own, and it just kind of evolves with Aaron Rourke. If we have looked back at the linear progression of Aaron Rourke, he's become more and more psychotic and just more and more out there and outlandish and flamboyant. So we've gone from tears and glitter to full-on Harvey Dent Two-Faced, and it takes a while, I'm not gonna lie. I would say it gets a good 30 to 45 minutes.
Wow.
If I'm speeding but taking my time. If I'm rushing, it's a flat 20. It's just, we gotta go.
Oh man.
But it's like pressure. It's getting ready, putting that on. But if I have time and I don't have to stop on the way to the venue, I will do my face at home and then drive with my face on.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, do you do it before or do you do it there? Or, like, I'm sure
It's a little of both.
So have you had those moments that it's like you had it done, you're in the car, you gotta stop at wherever it is, the Wawa, the 7-Eleven, the Sheets, wherever you crazy guys go or whatever.
Yes.
And then people like look at you like, okay.
Oh yes. I get are you a exotic dancer? Are you going to a Comic-Con convention? One time I was asked, are you a hooker?
Oh no. Oh God.
I was like, no. To be fair, I was going from one show to the next, so I didn't change out of my gear. I just threw on like shorts, and you could see the gear coming out of the shorts. So he probably thought I just got off one of my shifts. Was just stopping to get a recharge.
Yeah.
But I love it because I love attention. I love to ham it up and make people laugh and smile. So it never phases me. I kind of just love to roll with it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll play along. They'll be like, are you an exotic dancer? I'm like, oh yeah, just got off of a shift.
I love it. This is great. No, it's awesome. Do you have like a favorite one that you've done? And I mean, look, like I'm a girl. I love makeup and all that stuff. And then like I'll have those moments that I'm like, damn, it's like the perfect wing. I don't want to take it off my face. It looks so good. I've had those moments, and I'm sure you've had those moments too, right? That it looks just so damn good, and you're like, shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to take it off.
I think the half face that I did for me and Becca was by far my favorite. And when I was done and just looking at it, I was like, I really outdid myself this time.
Yeah, it was
I just
nice.
loved it.
It was nice. It was like the first thing like I caught off. I was like, oh, I like that. And I remember because I was with Main Event and we were talking about it. We're like, oh, and then even Midas was like, that looks good. Like it was really, really nice. So, but you brought it up. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about your match with Becca, which was great. This was my first chaotic show that I came up to. So I was very excited. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be backstage and get some candid interviews with some people. I wanted to get you and Becca, but I didn't want to bother you guys while you were practicing, getting ready for your match. But again, I can't thank everybody for those opportunities. If you guys want to see that, it's on the channel in the Indie Talks. Love Doug's being thrown out of chaotic is the title of that episode. So definitely.
I love JT for doing that. It's the one good thing he's ever done is thrown Doug out.
Well, that's the way I feel about that. But yeah, so tell us, like I said, I had a lot of fun. I've been talking with some of my other friends. I'm like, you need to come up with me, take this ride with me up to Chaotic, because I really love the fact that you have more time. I feel like in the matches, like, so you just about like 6 matches, and then you have more time, which sometimes like I love that. I feel like you need in matches, and you and Becca had a banger of a match.
Thanks.
Oof. And you're pinned, okay? Besides the fact that you're champion now, which we'll get into. But I have to talk about the pin because I'm obsessed with bridges, okay? And then I love them, especially when they go on the toes. But, oof. Chef kiss for you from me, okay?
Thank you.
Just so you know. But yeah, tell us a little bit about your experience with this match.
I love it just because I love what it stood for and what was on the line. And I think Becca did a great job introducing this title and putting it on the map, not only in Chaotic, but all over the place. And it's a lot of pressure to hold that title. This title is not just another title, especially for me. It's about representing my community, and it's about representing people who have been marginalized or who have been told that wrestling wasn't for them because of their sexuality or their gender identity or what have you. So it was very emotional just because I wanted to win this title, but I also wanted to have a great match for this title to show that it does not matter the gender of the wrestlers in the ring. It matters the emotion and how hard they hit and what they do to win this title and to be the best. And to have that match with Becca, who I believe is just a rising star, just taking off and leaving all of us in the dust.
No.
Well, not me. Of course not. She can thank me later because I definitely boosted her pay, But the match to me was everything I wanted and more. The pin is her pin that I stole because I do my research. Yeah. And she may know how to give it, but I don't think she knows how to get out of it. Ooh. And I proved that right.
That's true, because I remember tweeting at you, like, I had this, like, I don't think I took an actual photo. I think it was in my video, and I had to like stop it and like clip it as a photo, and I had to tag you. And I remember you saying that to me, that you stole it from her, because like, again, like it's just funny. Everybody's got their niches of what they like in wrestling. That's one of my things that I'm like, I love bridges. So that was just, again, I'm obsessed. So that's just me. I got some love into the chat. Johnny, how are you? He goes, hey, Aaron, what are your thoughts on Limitless star Daniel Garcia, aka aka the Red Death success in AEW?
What do I think about? I think he's lucky that he left before I showed up,
Mm.
or else I don't know if everyone would be talking about him so much.
Mm.
But I am very happy for Daniel Garcia. I think he is a once in a lifetime wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
He is just so good and so smooth, and I think he is just star potential. He just captivates audiences. It's all in this right here. That snarl he does. He's vicious. He knows like every hold in the book. But I would think that I don't think he would be able to not tap if I put him in my figure eight.
Mm. This could happen, you know, like you never know. I mean, it is independent wrestling, right? And it's like a lot of
Yes.
the AEW guys, like they come back, or they're still floating in the indies while still working AEW. So maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see
Daniel
them.
Garcia, if you want to have a submission match, name the time and
Oh
place.
man, I want to be there for that. Like shit, you guys like sit here. All my guests, they come out here, they talk about, which we'll get into later. But man, you guys get me hyped. Like I think about all the matches and stuff. But we'll go a little bit about later. But if this ever happens, I'm with it. The New England wrestling scene is hot. Hot. It's crazy because it's like everybody says like to me, oh, you live in New York, you get the best wrestling. I'm like, this girl's always driving to freaking Jersey for wrestling. Always down in Jersey. But I'm so thankful to come up to Chaotic, and I still have my bucket lists. But Beyond Wrestling is another one. If you're sleeping on Beyond Wrestling, that I don't know what to say to you.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about your match with John Silver. So I've been watching Silver, for years. And again, like a lot of the people that I know from AEW, I've been watching in the indies way before. Orange Cassidy, Chris Statlander, all these people that I watch for years in the indies, and it's so exciting to watch them move on to AEW and stuff, like, or whether they went to WWE, wherever it is, it's a great thing. So, but yeah, so tell us how that was for you. Tell us a little bit about your experience working with John Silver.
It was an absolute treat, and when you get an opportunity to work with someone that experienced and who's been around the block time and time, and who's just catapulted into the spotlight, and I mean, you can't go on TV and not be entertained by John Silver. I mean, there's no way.
Right.
He is such a ham. He's so funny, but God, does he hit so hard. Those kicks.
Take your breath away.
I swear. It literally did. It just killed me every time. But I learned so much from that match, and I learned so much from him, and he's an absolute class act, and I hope we meet again down the line.
Yeah. Some of my favorite matches are with him, like him and Chris Statlander. I go back to, what was that New Year's Eve. It was like the last match of the year, and like I always go back to that match. I'm like, damn. So when people like ask me like, can you recommend like a really good intergender match, that was definitely a match that I was like, oof, like go back and watch that match. So it just always comes out of my mouth. But yeah, like a lot of people say a lot of great things about working with him. So a lot of my guests have been on AEW Dark, which is great. So we're going to go there with you as well. So we talked to Joey Silver last night. He actually got to work in the Nightmare Factory. He got some training over there, and then he made his debut at Dark, which was cool. So I love the fact to see you guys all succeed and get that shot over there as well. So tell us a little bit about your experience, like everything, like, how was it being in the back, like you guys take some awesome photos. Let me tell you, I love seeing all the AEW, like the photographer there is like great for you guys for promo photos. And you work Chuck Taylor. So give us a little bit about that.
Well, the camera guy, Speedy, is just so nice and so cool and made me look like such a rock star. It was awesome. Being there, it was so nerve-wracking because it's the big time. Like,
right.
this is it. You go there, you see the stage and the ring and the stadium, and you get overwhelmed, and you take it all in. You're like, wow, like this is crazy. And my first AEW Dark experience, I wasn't even in front of a big crowd,
Right.
It was still during COVID time. But I mean, working Chuck Taylor was great. He's so good, such a sweet guy. Didn't appreciate getting dropped on my head. Still can't move my neck the right way. Thank you, Chuck Taylor. But the second time around, it was cool because it was the first time they had allowed some of the crowd back in.
Mm-hmm.
And to walk out and be like in front of that many people, you're like, oh my God, this is nuts.
Yeah.
But you can see why people just get so like wrapped up in it, because there's nothing like it. You walk out and you get a reaction. They don't even know you, but they're booing, or they're like, oh, you look great.
Yeah.
Like, or they're like, work, sis. And I'm like, shut up.
That is fun though. It's like, man, again, I've gone to AEW before, and I've gone with people that didn't know anything about independent wrestling, but then they'll be like, wait, like who was it? TJ Crawford, I remember, and one of my friends like, didn't you have him on the podcast? She was like, and I was like, I did. I was like, and I got so excited to see him, like be there live, and I was like, yay, I got to see him. So did you get those moments too, that like people were tweeting at you and the social blowing up?
Yeah. It was crazy to see that even people just knew who I was, or that many people knew who I was. I was like, oh God. And people were like, I see Perfect Aaron in the audience. I see Aaron Rourke there. Saw his match on Dark. Aaron Rourke's at AEW. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh man. Well, I hope you get more opportunities with that as well.
Who knows?
You never know. I know, can't spill any tea like that. That's cool. That's cool. I've had those with a bunch of wrestlers I'm friends with. They're like, oh, I can't say anything. I was like, okay, I will wait for the perfect time, when I see it, and then I will drive you crazy in your DMs that I'm excited for you. So, but no, it's really great. So speaking of opportunities, I'm going to like do this because I like doing this on this podcast. I love manifesting, matches. A lot of times, like I talk about young talent, because we have a lot of new up and coming talent. We're gonna go general with you. So, is there anybody, maybe somebody like within the last year, that has caught your eye that you have not got into the ring with yet, that you would love to get in the ring with?
See, this is a tough question. There's so many people.
Yeah.
And you don't want to hurt feelings, or you don't want to leave anyone out.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people I've seen where I'm like, I really want to get in there and do the dance with them. I really want to wrestle them.
Right.
See, it seems fun. I think the first one that comes to my mind is Alec Price. I feel like he and one of us would walk away dead. So we wouldn't be walking away. One of us would be dead after the match. But he is just, my God, just such a talent.
Yeah.
Just, oh man, the kid is just buttloads of personality and talent, and I don't know what more you could ask for in a wrestler. So I think my answer has to be Alec Price. I would kill someone for a match with Alec Price.
You never know. That's what I'm saying. You never know. I feel like it could happen, especially like you guys cross paths a lot. I feel like
Someone make it happen. Someone make it happen
right now.
Please.
Make it happen.
Book us.
I'm
please.
coming for this. Like, this is what I want. I'm all for it. Like, make it happen. But yeah, so tell us like some of your favorite moments that like stick out to you. Like, is there anything maybe, that, just like yearns out for you?
I mean, the first two that come to my mind are winning my first two belts. I mean, winning the Wrestle Pro Silver Champion was like my first title win ever. So they say there's nothing like your first, and it was a crazy feeling of just like, what? You get the title belt and you get it's given to you, and I honestly didn't know what to do. I was like, how do I hold this? I don't know how to hold a belt. Never had one. But that was a crazy, awesome feeling that I just try and bottle up and remember. And definitely winning the Panoptic title was another moment of like, wow, like this is crazy. Just so awesome. There's just a lot of moments, Sometimes it's the littlest things that get you. Tagging for the first time with art, was very special to me. Both Ava and Ricky Smokes are very close friends of mine. And to share the ring with them and be a faction or a trio, and to have that moment of us coming together and showing how great we are, it gets emotional. You're happy you get to do it with your friends. You're happy you get to share the ring with your friends. And I think my favorite moment, though, that just popped in my brain is when my baby love Davian won the heavyweight title.
Aww.
She deserved it, and I was so proud and happy for her.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Davian has been overlooked for a number of years, and I don't think it's fair.
Yeah. She
is one of the best, not only to come out of New England or the United States. I think she's one of the best, period.
Yeah.
She is I love her, and that moment will always stand out. Just to see her raise that belt, it gives me goosebumps now.
Aw. I love that. I gotta get her on the podcast too. It's just like me trying to. There's so many people. Like I don't have enough time.
I know there's so many.
I'm trying so hard to get everybody on. Like it's ridiculous. Like so. I'm sorry if you guys are listening to this. If I haven't got to you, I'm gonna get to you. I'm sorry. I try to support everybody, but she's great. I love seeing her. I love, I would see her one of the intergender Bonanza shows, and I was just like her and Jeff Cannonball. They had a match, and I was dying with Jeff's humor. And I'm like looking at her, I'm like, she's just gorgeous, like her makeup, her gear, and I'm like, she's a total badass standing up against Jeff Cannonball. And he just yelled at her, just take the pin. I need a pin. I never won a match here. I need to just lay down and let me pin you. Ridiculous.
She a bad bitch. She don't take nothing.
She is. And like I couldn't believe it. I know I clipped that also too on the Indie Talks episode that I posted up when I came up to Chaotic with her getting all the money. And I was like, wow, I think that's the first time that I actually physically been somewhere where they do it. Like I see it where people like roll up the money and throw it into the ring, but to leave it like at like where wrestlers come up over to the fans, like grabbing all the money, like I was like, oh wow, that's awesome. I was like, that's such a cool experience. So I'll definitely work on that for you guys to get her on. Becca's coming on though the end of the month, so we'll have some fun. We'll chat with her as well.
I'm sure she'll have some shit to say about me.
You have anything to say to her that I need to bring up on the pod maybe when she comes on?
I don't know. Tell her to loosen those scrunchies.
Oh, okay. We're going to do that. Let's do a fan tweet. Good cop, bad cop. They love doing anagrams on this podcast. They do it to everybody. You never know the stories that can come out from here. So he goes with Aaron Rourke being an anagram of our Corona era. What has been your wrestling highlight since the pandemic started?
I guess the easiest answer is AEW. I mean, I got to do that during the pandemic era, and it was just, like I said before, a cool, great experience that really opened my eyes to like the world of professional wrestling and what it is like at that grand scale. I would say another cool thing, or like one of the best things I've done during the pandemic, I think just finding who Aaron Rourke is. I think for a while I was trying to fit a certain role, and I think I was trying to be something that was not as authentic to me as I wanted it to be. And I feel like now I'm letting people see who I really am, and that's a crazy bitch. So
love it. I love it. So I love doing this because again, I love hearing the stories. Best road trip story. You travel a lot. I know I was talking to you off air, like about driving all over the place. I'm sure there's some funny story you can tell us. Don't do anything you get somebody in trouble.
All I'll say is that Phil Cardigan is the worst person to travel with on the scene planet. Like, he is just the worst. We didn't even start driving, and he got a coffee, and he popped the tap, like kind of squeezed it by accident, and it spurted all over him, all over my seat. It's fine, whatever. We got a show to get to. On the way home, what does he do when he's driving? Does the same shit again and ruins my driver's side seat.
I hope he cleaned it for you.
Nope.
That's rude. Okay? That's just rude.
I was so tired and so done that I was like, just get there. Because I've had it. Officially had it.
Damn, you got some making up to do, Phil. Like,
well, I got my revenge.
ooh.
I dropped him on a chair, you know. Listen, do you know how hard it is being a tag team with him? It's hard. People cheer for him for the work I do.
Terrible. Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
So bad.
But look, you're on this podcast before him, so there's your revenge. So
As I frickin' should be.
exactly. I love it. I love it. Sky says Garcia is one of my favorites. I book a flight to see that match. So she's talking about you and him wrestling. So there you go.
Book it.
Make it
I'm
happen.
ready.
Make it happen. All right. So a big part of the Indie Wrestling Corner. I've been preaching this for a while. I've been doing it with everybody that comes onto this podcast. I'm very big into the wrestling with positivity. So I love to manifest it with all my interviews. So I like to ask you guys, like, is there anything, like I've been so honored to see a lot of things being a podcaster, being able to be backstage, having a lot of friends. So I see a lot of stories and I can tell a lot of stories. But is there anything that comes to mind with you that maybe you've done for a fan, maybe a fan's done for you, maybe a wrestler's done something for you, maybe you've done something for another wrestler or somebody in the business, something that sticks out to you that, a fan wouldn't normally know or see unless you're telling the story?
That's such a good question. I gotta find the answer for it. Maybe it's just a cap thing, like a Creative Pro thing, but I don't think the fans understand the level of camaraderie in the locker room. I think while this business is very cutthroat and people are always trying to get to the top, there is a level of family, especially since you spend a lot of time with these people,
right,
more so than your actual family. So I think just in general, people don't understand how close a lot of these wrestlers are without even really being close. It's like you don't know their middle name or their favorite color, but you know their trunk size, their shoe size, their first ex-girlfriend, this story about them, this story about them, this story about them, because you spend all this time with them.
Right.
And you develop this like family bond with your wrestling school and with the people you train with. And yeah, it's a cool feeling to know you have like a second family that has your back,
right,
no matter what.
That's great. Yeah, I see a lot of you guys, like, even like on the outside, I hear a lot of like fun stories. Like I always like to push this by wrestling with positivity. It's just a nice thing. But thank you with that. I love that. Do you have any pre-match rituals?
Oh my God, this is like, I don't know how much to the extent I'll expose myself, but I do like listen to a specific theme song.
Okay.
When I'm stretching, because it gets me amped and it just reminds me of like the bad bitch that I am. So I don't know if I can say it because I don't know how the comments are going to come for me.
Okay, we'll just leave it like that. I don't want anybody coming at you. I mean, this is
It's
just
not like it's a bad theme
Oh,
song.
no, yeah.
It's just like they'll be like, "Oh, of course," or like, "Oh, really? That's the theme song you listen to?" And I'm like, "It's a bop."
People always got to rude shit, right? I'm trying to push positivity, and I don't want people. Nah, this is a judge-free zone anyway for me. So, but, what are some things you like to do when you're not in the squared circle?
Sleep.
That should be a given, right? Like,
I'm a very big video game guy. I didn't play a lot of video games growing up. I was always doing something. I was either like a dancer, a singer, an actor.
Mhm.
And so I was always preoccupied with that. And then I was like in track, so I was doing that.
Mhm.
And in college, like I just didn't have time. But as I became more of an adult, I've fallen back in love with video games.
Mhm.
And so a lot of days is me playing Animal Crossing for hours on end, or Legends of Zelda. Those are my two like big ones.
Okay. I'm a Mario girl, like, or Fortnite
I
girl.
love. I have a tattoo of Mario Kart on the back of my leg.
Oh, Mario. Oh, here we go. I love it. Wait, I like how cute. I love Mario.
It's Toadette and Baby Bowser because those are the two I play as in
Aw.
Double Dash.
Oh, that's so cute. I love it. I love tattoos. Oh my god, addicting, right? Like total
Yes, very
addicting.
much so.
Anybody who doesn't have it, like once you start, you keep going. And I keep saying my last one's my last one, and then I get that itch again. So, any thoughts of something additional to the tats for you?
The last one I got was on my ribs back, like, I think over a year ago. It's the date I started wrestling. I want to have, like, I want to be tatted up so much if it wasn't so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always, with me, it's always, like, what I feel like I want first. Like, I have a whole idea of what I want to look like by,
Right.
like, 35 covered in tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one step at a time with me. I gotta
Yeah.
logistically go through and be like, where am I gonna put this on
Right.
my body?
Well, it's permanent, so you definitely have to like think about that. So you don't want to
Oh,
just.
well, I know it's permanent. Trust
No,
me,
I know.
there's some mistakes that I wish could get covered.
That's what I always say. I'm like, I have to be 100% sure it's got to be something I truly love, that it's got to mean something. I'm not just throwing tats to throw tats, because I'm not going through that whole thing to remove it. So it's there. So anybody that is thinking about doing tattoos. So, but I love tattoos. They're great, and I love everybody who has those stories behind each tattoo, what it means. It's a great conversation piece. So I have two more questions for you. If you guys have any other questions, please feel free, drop them into the chat. So, we're still in the beginning of 2022. I mean, a lot can happen. I think this is going to be a very big year in independent wrestling. I mean, people are always tweeting at me. They're like, damn, like now we're in February. Somebody tweeted at me last night. They're like, February is a very big month for independent wrestling. Honey, it's freaking, indies are hot. Okay, the indies are hot. If you don't like WWE, you don't like AEW, get on the indie train like me. And this is why we do these interviews. So, what are some of your goals for 2022?
Just to be more well known, to continue to do what I do, and I really just want to wrestle more.
Mhm.
I love it. I love it so much. I love what I do, and I just want to prove I'm the freaking best, because you can call me confident or you can call me cocky. I think I back it up every time.
You do.
I think my goal for 2022 is just to keep this momentum going. 2 belts Rourke right now. Gonna be 3 belts Rourke, hopefully by the end of the week.
Ooh.
And who knows? I want to be the next belt collector. So
Ooh. I like to call it dripping in gold. I like that, like dripping gold. And then you got to take
dripping
the.
in diamonds, dripping in gold.
I love that. They like to take the photo shoot going on there, with all the gold and the diamonds and all that fun stuff. So I'm all about it. So I tried to do some diamonds for this layout. I was having a hard, I was fighting with the damn diamonds. I was changing your background for this interview a million freaking times, and then I saw the hearts, and I was like, this is cute, like heart diamonds. I was like, we're gonna roll with heart diamonds for this interview.
They looked beautiful.
Thank you. I tried. You should have seen me. I must have changed the background 15 times. I refused. It had to be like some sort of diamonds. I wanted to run with that. I was like, we're going with diamonds. So here we are. Yeah. Okay. So I like to always end off on a positive. Again, we have a lot of listeners that, they'll tweet at me. They'll DM me, they'll listen to a lot of these podcasts, whether they're thinking about getting into wrestling, whether they started training. Is there anything advice wise that you would love to give, those inspired and amateur wrestlers out there?
Just that, the one quote that I've always taken with wrestling is, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. No matter how good you are, how not great you are, it's always a long haul kind of game, and to just keep pushing and keep going. And if it's something you love, just keep doing it and just always give it your all. What you put into it is what you get out of it. So if you're putting 110%, 110% will come your way. Maybe not all at once, maybe not in a year or two, but you keep working, it'll come to you.
Good advice. Johnny's in the chat. He wants to know if you have any plans coming to New Jersey indie scene. Oh, it's pretty funny.
Wow, you say so.
Well, since you said so, we're gonna break it up now because that's the next part of this interview. We're gonna talk about what is coming up. So I'm gonna let you talk about WrestlePro this Saturday.
I will be at WrestlePro February 5th, defending my WrestlePro Silver Championship against Falaba. If you can come, you should come, because I'm going to whoop that big man's ass. And then while you're at it, you can swing right up to Long Island to watch me beat Slade and send him back to prison and take his title.
Oh man, this is crazy. Oh my goodness. So I love Falaba. He's great. So, but you're gonna win this match. So, and please put Slade away, because he's on a spree over at JCW. And listen,
keep your diseases and your jailness over there.
Oh, damn.
Please. I'm here to clean Create a Pro of his disgustingness. Go drink toilet wine over there.
Oh.
No one wants you.
Oh, okay. Sky said she's making some notes. So, yeah, Johnny, definitely check out WrestlePro this Saturday. Great promotion over there. I know some friends are going. I'm going to see if I can get over there. Conrad, shout out to you, because everything pro wrestling over there. He says he's going ham. Yes, he is. He's going ham.
Listen, I said, if people want to play, we can play, but I'm shadier than an oak tree, and I'm meaner than any bitch. Ooh. So.
And there you have it. So, oof, I'm excited. I'm excited for your journey. I can't wait to see what else is up and what goes on in the future of 2022 and going forward with you. Again, it's just been a pleasure. I'm glad that I got to see you a couple of times in person, which is great. So, and I continue to keep on planning and continue to support as always, because I love you guys very much. But yeah, so Johnny said he's watching it on Fight. So you better tweet, or tweet at him and all that stuff like that. All those people out there, thank you for doing GIFs and all that, videos and clips and all that stuff. It's puts everybody over.
Thank you.
So I try to do that myself. When I come to the shows, I try taking videos, I tweet. It's great stuff. So it's a great thing. So, but tell everybody where they can find you if they want to follow you, support you, buy merch, all that fun stuff.
Well, to buy merch, you can go to prowrestlingtees.com/ARourke1. for following me and seeing what I'm doing, where I'm going to be next, you can go to Twitter and Instagram. It's the same handle, Perfect Aaron1. I recommend going to it right now. You know, I put up some fire posts. And yeah, just thank you to everyone. Well, thank you to you for having me on.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it. And thank you for dealing with my scheduling issues. It's
No,
hard.
You're fine. You're fine.
Another job.
No, you're good.
And just thank you to everyone who loves and supports me. I hope that I make you proud, and I do this for you guys. And if you want me to keep telling bitches to bow down and proving that I'm the best, I'll keep doing it. It's not hard work for me. Really slight, actually.
Do it. I need to see so many matches. Okay, who's booking him and Alec Price for me? Because I need to see this. So I don't know. Who do I need to nudge? JT Dunn, Cody from NFW,
You
Randy.
can nudge JT Dunn and I are good friends. He would never do me dirty.
Okay. Because there's a lot of people. There's a lot of places that I could start like doing the nudge, like, excuse me, I want to see this, please. Thank you. As he pulls down the Limitless shirt. Pun intended, pretty much. So, but Aaron, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast and chatting with us. You're amazing. Again,
thank you.
Looking forward to continue your journey with you. Guys, thank you for everything. Thanks for the support. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're following us on the Indie Wrestling Corner. Tomorrow, Alex Zane is popping back for a return. So that's going to be fun. So definitely come into the
There's
chat.
a dream match. There's a dream match.
Ooh, give it to me. Give it to me. Maybe we'll talk to him tomorrow about this. Tune in 2:00 Eastern time tomorrow. He'll be chatting with me. So, but you guys know the drill. Stay safe, support independent wrestling, and we will talk to you soon. Have a good night.